Into the semi-finals we go now with PSG and Real Madrid duking out for one spot left in, of course, the Club World Cup final. Who will go through and who will go home? We're going to get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at the Club World Cup semi-finals. Today we take a look at PSG up against Real Madrid, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe. You want some show for Blackburn Rovers, Club World Cup. Whoa, football, we're all here under one rooski. That's right. Two of the biggest clubs in the world at the moment do get out for just one spot in, of course, the Club World Cup final. Who will it be? We'll get into it in a minute. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep end and, of course, explore the old semi-final, which is PSG Real Madrid. So let's get into the deep end and have a look at the match itself. Of course, coming at you in the next day or so. PSG qualified as the second best ranked eligible team in the UEFA 4-year ranking system. They secured their spot back in the 17th of December 2023. This is their first time in a tournament such as this. The odds at the start of the competition, 3-1 on. The odds to win the whole thing, 12-1. And of course, I thought they'd take a tumble at the round of 16. But guess what? They're better than that. They're much better than that. That's right. They're coming at you with these guys. The likes of Donnarumma between the sticks. Hernandez at the back. Mendes, Marquinhos, Hakimi. It's a who's who. They're the best of the best at the moment. And of course, they're coming at you right here, right now. Now, moving into the midfield, the likes of Vitinha, Neves. We got the likes of Ruiz as well. Up top on the attacking ranks, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia. We got the likes of Barcola as well. And a very young, exciting, and what appears to be very hungry team that is PSG. This is the lineup we could see. Go with a 4-3-3 here. Donnarumma between the sticks, Mendes at the back there, Paco, Marquinhos, Hakimi, then into midfield, Ruiz, Vitinha, and Neves. Is a very Portuguese flavour on that, or at least Mediterranean or Iberian sort of flavour there. Barcola, Dembele, and Kvaratskhelia up top. That's what it could be. But this is their journey so far, PSG, and what a journey it has been. Just the one goal conceded in a whole host of games, including that Champions League final when they did take out Inter Milan. Meanwhile, moving forward, they started the tournament with a 4-0 win over Atletico Madrid. They bounced, or they actually took a stumble there with a 1-0 loss to Botafogo. Then they took care of the business against the Sounders 2-0 winners. Then fellow MLS side Inter Miami were next, 4-0 an elimination job there where it could have been 10-0 even before half time. PSG then took out the big boy Bayern München here in a one-sided affair there, and then now they take on Real Madrid for a spot in yet another final. But this is of course just a recap of their group and how it all panned out. But standing in the way is of course a big boy. It's a giant. It's a juggernaut. I don't think they get much bigger than this. It is Real Madrid, and they're coming at you as the winners of the 2021, 22, 23, 24 Champions Leagues. They secured their spot in this year's tournament back in the 14th of March 2023. They've been here 7 times in total, 6 times previously, back into the year 2000, back in 2014, 2016, 17, 18 and 2022. Odds at the start of the competition, 33-1 on. Of course, the odds to win the trophy, 7-2. And of course, I did expect them to win it. And they're here right now, and they could still win this one. Coming into this, though, the likes of Courtois could be between the sticks, Lunin as well. Moving forward, the likes of Rudiger, Trent's been involved, Asenio, Hushin as well, the new guy from Bournemouth at the back. It's the midfield, the likes of Bellingham, Modric trying to give himself a bit of a fond farewell, Camavinga as well. And up top, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, and Endrick also getting some action in this competition. This is the lineup we could see. Lunin between the sticks, Garcia, Senio, Tchouameni, Vasquez, Caballos, Valverde, Modric, Diaz, Mbappe, Gula. And of course, this is their journey thus far with a 1-1 draw against Al Hilal. Moving forward, they picked up a 3-1 win over Pachuca, a 3-0 win over Salzburg, and a 1-0 win over over Juventus. And at that point, just one goal also conceded. But then they had a bit of a banger against Dortmund, 3-2 win in the end with a red card, of course. And now they take on PSG for a spot in the final. This is how their table panned out. Top of the bins over in Group H, over ahead of the likes of Al Hilal. That's right. Now these two sides coming at you right here at the MetLife Stadium. That's right, coming at you, I believe, on the 9th of July. PSG with Luis Enrique at the helm, 5 wins of the last 6. They're on 83% form for them at the moment. Up against Real Madrid and Xabi Alonso, they're on 92% form for them right now. Also 5 wins of the last 6, but unbeaten in that last 6. Now they have played 11 times, these two clubs, since 2013. 3 wins PSG, 6 wins Real Madrid. We've got 2 draws between the two sides. PSG have a 3-0 win on the record. They've got 12 goals scored against their opposition. That is Real Madrid, and 1.09 goals a game ratio As for their opposition, Real Madrid 3-1 win, their highest win over PSG, 14 goals scored against them and a 1.27 goals a game ratio. The most recent match between these two sides on record was a 3-1 win for Real Madrid against PSG way back in March 2022. It was a two-legged affair in the round of 16 in the Champions League, old rendition, the old school version, which did follow on from that 1-0 win for PSG. But they do exchange victories over the last 5 or 6 matches, but Real Madrid do edge it. 3 wins to the 2 for PSG. What about the bookies? Well, the bookies give PSG 13-10. We've got Real Madrid 15-8. The public vote has 60% for PSG. And of course, Real Madrid get 40% of that public vote, which is still out there, still quite fresh. So get involved with that. But what about me then, guys? What about me? Now, I've been on an hour about this one. Of course, I've tipped Real Madrid at the start of the competition, but PSG, realistically, have been the best side on this competition, despite that loss to Botafogo. They have a loss on the record, but Real Madrid don't have a loss on the record. But PSG have just been blowing teams out. But, you know, when you look back at that resume, Atletico Madrid was a very statement result at the start of it, and of course, Dortmund was also a bit of a spicy one as well. But whose journey was it? Whose journey was more difficult? I think both sides have had not the most challenging of groups, so they were expected to get the knockout stages. And when we got to the knockout stages, PSG taking on Inter Miami. Who else did they have in that last round? They had they had Bayern most recently, and then of course before that. I just don't think they've. It's very difficult to call. I just think PSG at the moment are playing the better football, despite Real Madrid being the quality. But I'm going for goals in this one, going for drama, and I'm going for an absolute epic. I'm going for 3-2 win PSG. They are just the best playing football club on the world right now. They're playing good football, entertaining, scoring goals. And I don't really think they've taken the foot off the gas or put into third gear yet. I think they've just been playing the bare minimum. And I really think they could be on for a bit of a good era of dominance. So I'm going to go 3-2 win PSG. Let me know your thoughts and opinions as we look forward to this one and much more. Until then, I'll see you soon when we return for the final and all. Until then, I'm done.